Welcome to Module 2, Levels and Types of Software Testing. In this module, we're going to take a look at the various levels and types of software testing. In the first lesson, we're going to take a look at the various levels of software testing, and this second lesson is going to explain various types of software testing. Let's take a look at everything you're going to learn. By the end of this module, you're going to understand the levels of software testing, including all the various levels, in great detail. As well, you're going to understand the types of software testing, again, in great detail. Let's get started. Lesson 1, Levels of Software Testing. Let's get started with the first lesson. By the end of this lesson, you're going to understand the various levels of software testing. We're going to go over detailed explanations of these various levels. Level of software testing means an extent or depth up to which software is tested. Normally, a software system is tested in different steps. These steps are aligned with the planned build and release strategies. Testing proceeds through various physical levels of the application development life cycle. Each completed level represents a milestone on the project plan, and each stage represents a known level of physical integration and quality. These stages of integration are known as test levels. Now, there are various levels of software testing, like unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and user acceptance testing. Let's take a closer look at some of the testing. A testing of a single screen, module, or program is known as unit testing. Here, software is tested without considering impact on any other program or module of the software. Now, some common approaches for unit testing are driver, stub, parameterized unit testing, uses of languages. Now, in the industry, generally, unit testing needs to be performed by the developers before sending the unit for testing to the dedicated testing team. Click each of the boxes to learn more about common methods of unit testing. I'll see you in the next slide. First, a dummy screen is considered. It sends instructions and data to the next screen which is under testing. This dummy unit is technically known as the driver. For example, a bank account number is made available for the testing of any bank transaction screen. In the next approach, the dummy unit is assumed, which is accepting output of the unit under testing. This dummy unit is technically known as stub. For example, after completing any banking transaction, the balance in the account is passed on to the dummy unit, known as the stub. Another approach is parameterized unit testing. It accepts sets of parameters for testing purposes. Parameters can be added manually or by using the test framework. Here's another one, the use of languages. Unit testing can be made with the use of programming languages like C, Java, Python, etc. Integration testing. Testing of the multiple units and programs which are interlinked is known as integration testing. Generally, after a successful pass of the independent units of the software system, they are logically joined. This join needs to be tested for various functional and technical aspects, like error-free data transfers, proper validation of all relevant data, or correct business logic. Integration testing is useful from many aspects, as it evaluates behavior of the software after joining multiple units, screens, and programs together. It helps to identify compatibility issues. For example, you can check to ensure that no issues occurred after integrating web-based systems with Oracle-based reports, and it assures that no exceptions are encountered after passing runtime or live data into the system. Let's continue. Types of integration testing. Bottom-up testing. Bottom-up testing is an approach to integrated testing where the lowest level of components are tested first, then used to facilitate the testing of higher-level components. This process is repeated until the component at the top of the hierarchy is tested. All the bottom or low-level modules, procedures, or functions are integrated and then tested. After the integration testing of lower-level integrated modules, the next level of modules will be formed and found and can be used for integration testing. This approach is helpful only when all or most of the modules of the same development level are ready. This method also helps to determine the levels of software developed and makes it easier to report testing progress in the form of a percentage. How about top-down testing? This would be an approach to integrated testing where the top integrated modules are tested and the branch of the module is tested step by step until the end of the related module. Then there's sandwich testing, one of my personal favorites. This is an approach to combining top-down testing with bottom-up testing. The main advantage of the bottom-up approach is that bugs are more easily found. With top-down, it's easier to find a missing branch link. After completion of the unit and integration testing, the software system is said to be ready for system testing. Now, here, the complete software system is tested functionally, as well as from the user perspective. This serves as the final round of testing before the final product delivery for user acceptance testing. Let's take a look at that. User acceptance testing. This is a type of functional testing. It is conducted only if the software has passed through the system and integration phases of testing. Depending on project requirements, the client may also be involved in this type of testing. User acceptance testing involves the end users and client business analysts. So, we can say that user acceptance testing is a formal activity, which ensures user requirements are fulfilled by the software system.